5 most terrifying cults to ever exist. Hey there, welcome back. So, fun fact. Right now, as you're watching this video, there are an estimated 10,000 cults operating worldwide. That's 10,000 groups where someone convinced people that drinking Kool-Aid at 3 a.m. is totally normal behavior. And before you think I'd never fall for a cult, remember, every cult member also thought that. They weren't looking for a cult, they were looking for community, purpose, maybe some yoga classes, and then bam, suddenly they're in the woods at 2 a.m. chanting at a potato. Today, we're counting down the 5 most absolutely unhinged, pants-wettingly terrifying cults to ever exist. And trust me, by number 1, you'll be grateful you're just sitting at home eating chips instead of, living in a compound. Let's get into it. Number 5, Aum Shinrikyo, the doomsday cult that actually did something. Starting strong with Japan's Aum Shinrikyo, which translates to Supreme Truth. And by Supreme Truth, they meant, let's release sarin gas in the Tokyo subway and see what happens. Their leader, Shoko Asahara, claimed he could levitate, transfer spiritual power, and see the future. Spoiler alert, he could do none of these things. What he could do was convince highly educated people, we're talking doctors, engineers, lawyers, to join his meditation group that slowly morphed into a doomsday cult with its own military division. Because nothing says inner peace like stockpiling chemical weapons. In 1995, they released sarin gas in the Tokyo subway during rush hour, killing 13 people and injuring thousands. Their plan? To trigger the apocalypse and then rule over the survivors. The apocalypse did not happen. What did happen was Asahara getting arrested while hiding in a tiny room surrounded by stacks of cash. Very enlightened. Number 4, the People's Temple, the Kool-Aid incident. Ah yes, Jonestown. This is where the phrase drinking the Kool-Aid comes from, except plot twist, it was actually Flavor Aid. Even in their final moments, they went with the off-brand option. Jim Jones started as a charismatic preacher who genuinely seemed to care about racial equality and social justice. But then he moved his followers to the jungles of Guyana, created a compound called Jonestown, and things went downhill faster than a shopping cart with broken wheels. Jones became increasingly paranoid, made people work 11-hour days in the jungle heat, confiscated passports, and held suicide drills where members had to drink what they thought was poison as a loyalty test. Fun team-building exercise, right? Then, in 1978, when a congressman came to investigate, Jones decided it was game over. He ordered everyone to drink cyanide-laced Flavor Aid. Over 900 people died, including 300 children. It remains the largest single loss of American civilian life in a deliberate act until 9/11. So yeah, next time someone asks you to move to a compound in the jungle, maybe just say you're busy that decade. Number 3, Heaven's Gate, the alien cult with matching outfits. Imagine believing that a UFO hiding behind a comet is coming to pick you up and take you to the next level of existence. Now imagine being so committed to this belief that you castrate yourself to prepare for the journey. Welcome to Heaven's Gate, where the dress code was business casual alien abductee. Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles, who called themselves Bo and Peep like they were running a discount sheep farm, convinced their followers that they were aliens in human bodies. The only way to leave Earth and join the spacecraft was to exit their human vehicles. And by exit, they meant, in 1997, as the Hale-Bopp comet passed Earth, 39 members put on matching black outfits and Nike Decades, ate phenobarbital-laced pudding, tied plastic bags over their heads, and died in shifts over 3 days. They even packed overnight bags for the trip. The dedication, the organizational skills, the absolute tragedy of it all. The worst part, they had a website design business and were apparently pretty good at it. These people could have just stuck to making GeoCities pages, but no, they had to catch a ride on a spaceship that definitely wasn't there. Number 2, the Manson family, when hippies go horribly wrong. Charles Manson looked like a tiny feral goblin man, and yet he convinced a group of mostly young women to commit murder for him. How? Well, a lot of LSD, Beatles songs, and good old-fashioned manipulation. Manson believed the Beatles' White Album was speaking directly to him about a race war he called Helter Skelter. His plan? Murder rich white people, make it look like Black Panthers did it, start a race war, hide in a secret desert city during said war, and then emerge to rule over everyone. This plan had more holes than a colander, but his followers were all in. In 1969, family members murdered 7 people over 2 nights, including actress Sharon Tate, who was 8 months pregnant. They wrote messages in blood at the crime scenes, which is both horrifying and proof that they fundamentally misunderstood how revolution works. Manson never killed anyone himself, he just convinced others to do it. He died in prison in 2017, and honestly, the fact that he got to live to 83 is its own kind of injustice. Number 1, the Order of the Solar Temple. Murder, cloaks, and fire. Taking the top spot is a cult, so crazy that even other cult members would be like, okay, that's a bit much. The Order of the Solar Temple believed they were reincarnated, Knights Templar preparing for Earth's destruction by fire. They wore ceremonial robes, performed elaborate rituals, and charged members massive fees to attend secret ceremonies where leaders wore capes and pretended to summon holograms of Jesus. Yes, holograms of Jesus. In the 1990s. But here's where it gets truly dark. Between 1994 and 1997, the cult was responsible for the deaths of 74 people across Switzerland, Canada, and France. Some were murdered, some were convinced to commit transit to another planet, and many were found arranged in star patterns burned in buildings. The leaders, Joseph DeMambro and Luc Jouret, claimed one member's baby was the Antichrist and had it murdered. When authorities started investigating, they decided it was time to transit and orchestrated mass murder suicides in multiple countries. Bodies were found with plastic bags over their heads, gunshot wounds, drugged, and set on fire. The absolutely bonkers part? Some survivors still believed in the cult's teachings and attempted more transits in subsequent years. The last incident was in 1997, when 5 more members died in Quebec. And there you have it, 5 cults that prove humans are capable of believing literally anything if you package it with enough confidence and matching outfits. Remember, cults don't start with, hey, want to join my murder group? They start with community, purpose, and someone who seems to have all the answers. So stay skeptical, trust your gut, and if anyone invites you to a compound with no cell service, run. If you made it this far, drop a comment with which cult terrified you the most, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there, and remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably a cult. Peace.